And we're on. Wayne County Commission Chair, Alisha Bell, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to you, Steve. How are you?
Man, I hate it. I'm bored, I'm locked up, but I'm behaving, and I hate it.
Well, as long as you're behaving, we're all happy.
My doctor knows my proclivities, and she says, don't risk it. I said, but doc, let me free, doc.
No, stay home, stay bored, read some more books.
Well, your life is anything but boring. It seems as if the county executive has announced that you all will have a $152 million budget shortfall come October 31st. Is that correct?
When county government, we look at it a little bit differently. It's not necessarily a shortfall, it's a lack of revenue. So it's $152 million that we anticipate not receiving through the ways that we generate money. Property taxes is one of the ways we generate money, money from the state, fees and fines. So the list of things on how we generate money. So we think we're going to be short about $152 million.
But when you guys are short, the last time I remember you were short, your employees got bus tickets. You remember that? They got bus tickets.
Remember that.
So somebody pays the price when Wayne County runs short. Tell me about it.
And just to put things in perspective, we've been operating for the last few years at about $100 million less than we had in 2008 before the last recession that we had. So we've already been operating with $100 million less than we had then. So we've had to make some tough decisions, what's on the back of our employees, and you know that. But we're at a place financially that we were just getting to a good place, right? And now we have this, but thank goodness we do have some money in our rainy day fund. There are some things that we can do to mitigate this shortfall so that we don't lay off employees.
And give them bus tickets.
You
know that was shameful. I just think that was just so wrong. I can't.
Nobody got bus tickets, literally.
Yeah, they got bus tickets. If O'Connor would have done that, they would have put his head on a spigot. Anyway. Let's continue. With the $152 million that you will not be receiving.
Yes.
Okay, let's put it like that. With that money that you will not be receiving, can we expect any services to be cut?
No. I mean, there are some things we can do to help with that. As I said, there may be some reduction in salaries, maybe. We'll look at, what we have in our budget, we have built in FTEs, that's fully qualified employees. So we may have FTEs, I'm gonna give an example in the commission of 100 people, right? But the reality is we have 80 people. And again, I'm just using an example. So we cut out those 20 extra FTE funded positions and do a hiring freeze. That'll free up some dollars. So if every department, every elected look at their FTEs and only operate with what they actually have and don't hire anybody else, that'll kind of free up some of those dollars. We can look at some of the contracts that we have and say, are those necessary? You look at the jail right now. We have 800 inmates at the jail, where a month ago we had 1,700. So we're almost half. So there are some jail contracts that we could probably, loosen up or cut in half.
Where did those guests of the county go to?
They went home.
So they were released back into the community.
Yes. So, with jail, the difference between jail and prison, so that we're clear, jail is where someone goes as they await trial. Prison is where you go once you have been convicted. So the vast majority of jails across the country are where people sit while they await trial. So the prosecutor, Judge Kennedy for the Third Circuit Court, they looked at all of the cases to see who was not a danger to society, and they went home with tether so that they have restrictions, and there are people watching them to make sure that they are restricted to being at home.
Okay, I hear you. We're going to talk to Chief Judge Kennedy about that on Monday, by the way.
Good.
That one just made the list. I mean, because it's amazing that there are 800, 900 people that don't have to be in jail, that are home on title.
And that's going to be an interesting concept going forward, because one of my colleagues in Ohio, they mentioned that to me first. They said they were releasing their, nonviolent people out of the jails back home because of this pandemic. And they didn't want, the jail is like a hotbed of all kinds of stuff. So they wanted to mitigate what that could look like in their facility. And he asked me if we were doing it. And I said, no, we're not yet. And then shortly thereafter, the prosecutor, the sheriff, and the judge worked to make sure that, again, we're letting out those nonviolent persons and just keeping those violent persons in the jail.
Well, that raises a whole nother question. And I hate to take you there, but you opened the door, so I'm going to go there. If that is the case, that you could actually send 900 people home, all right, if you could actually send them home, do you need that big jail over there just north of Warren? Do you need to house 2,000 prisoners anymore? It's just like business, okay? Business now has found that, oh, we've got all these people working at home. Oh, maybe we don't need to bring them back.
Right.
Okay, so do we need this massive jail, this massive thing that you're building? Why do we need it?
So we also have federal prisoners and we have immigration prisoners that we keep, and we can rent those spaces out to those outfits. So even if we keep our own county people there, we could rent the additional space out to other agencies. So that could be one reason why.
You're going to rent out 900 spaces.
Not 900 spaces. Crime is still going to go on, and we'll still have crime. And for those persons who are newly into the system, that's where they'll go. But that's a question that's come up, and we are looking into maybe shortening the size of the jail. But as of right now, the plans are to stay as they are. Those persons who are out on tether, once this pandemic is done, they may come back in, just depending on how good they were while they were out, and other factors, of course. So everything is fluid, because as you know, this pandemic is something that we've never lived through before. This is something new. So we're learning a lot of things. We're doing things differently. We're learning and growing just to make sure that the public is safe.
Okay, let's switch gears. We talked about the people in jails as a county service. Let's talk about some of your other electeds. Let's talk about the county clerk. We have a presidential election coming up this year, and I would imagine she needs all hands on deck leading into November. Are you going to be cutting her as a result of this pandemic?
Again, I'm hopeful that we don't have to cut anyone. We have the clerk's office that is extremely busy all the time. Prosecutor, we're the largest county in the state of Michigan. We have 1.8 people almost in Wayne County. We have a lot of services to deliver. So cutting people is the last resort on any of this. We have to find other mechanisms where we can make up that difference. But cutting people, especially prosecutor, the sheriff's, the clerk's office, the register of deeds office, the treasurer's office, all of those are vital services. What the county provides are vital services. So we don't want to cut any positions. We can't afford to. What we might do is just a hiring freeze, or that we're not hiring anybody extra, but cutting positions is absolutely the last resort, and something that I don't foresee us doing.
Okay, let's change gears just a little bit. The last time we talked, we were in your district at a restaurant called Fusion Flair. Fusion Fire, Fusion Flair, right?
Fusion Flair.
Are they doing takeout? Because they had a huge bar business. That bar is closed. Are they doing takeout? What are they doing? And what are you doing as their commissioner and as the commission chair for small businesses such as Fusion Flair?
Good question. I'm working on two fronts with our small businesses. One front would be the grants. The MEDC gave Wayne County the largest dollar amount in the whole state, $1.8 million of grants, non-payback, giving people money grants. $800,000 went to the city, $800,000 went to out Wayne County. So that being said, there were, as you can imagine, hundreds, literally 3,200 businesses total applied for those grants. So what we've done, we've been able to grant businesses some dollars, anywhere from $2,500 to $10,000, to help their business sustain themselves while we go through this pandemic. And then we have the loan. We have a loan system that we partnered with TCF Bank. First, it was $10 million, and that was only for businesses in low income tract areas. The county commission wanted the entire county to take part of this loan program. So we put in $2 million more, and TCF matched it with $2 million. So now we have $14 million in loans for all small businesses in Wayne County to help them. And these are 0 to 2% loans. They can get their hands on those monies far quicker than the federal program, far, far quicker. And that's why we did that, because we know it's easier to go down the street, apply for the loan, than it is to go through whatever the hassle is with the federal program.
And they go to a TCF bank to do that?
TCF was our partner with this, and we're so grateful because they matched us the dollars. And that was a wonderful thing for them to do. So the one-page application, you go to the bank, and we've given out at date hundreds of thousands of dollars through those programs. Now, and the application process is not over until June 30th. So are there any businesses who haven't applied yet? Please apply. There's money out there for us to lend you, 0 to 2% loans. First 6 months, only interest. So they're really working with the small businesses to try to keep them afloat during this time.
Okay, we're almost done here. We got to switch to your personal. You have this one personal thing that you do every year. It's the prom dress thing.
Yes.
Okay, what in the world are you going to do this year?
Well, our prom date program was supposed to be on April 4th. In the middle of all of this, obviously, we have it at the Boys and Girls Club every year for the last 12 years. This would have been the 13th year. Of course, with the schools closed and everything started to close down, the Boys and Girls Club closed as well. So we had to cancel/postpone our program. And I say postpone only because if we should get up to some kind of normalcy, I would like to still have it, because I still have hundreds and hundreds of dresses, hundreds and hundreds of shoes. So I still have these items for these young ladies. Unfortunately, unless they do a July prom special, we'll have to wait and pray that everything is good for next year. But right now, it's been canceled/postponed until we get out of this pandemic situation.
Okay, what's your office number so people can call you, Madam Chairwoman?
Yes, 313-224-0936. 313-224-0936. We are still working. My staff is still working. All the commission staff is still working. So if you have any concerns, please reach out to me or your commissioner. We are still working every day to service the people of Wayne County.
All right. Madam Chairwoman, one more question from the other side of my life. Did
Yes.
anybody file against you in this latest election?
No.
Wow, that's amazing. So I don't get to go out and say, I pity the fool. Huh?
Not this year.
Pity the fool.
I am very grateful for that. I love serving the people of my district. I am grateful and humble and look forward to another 2 years of serving the people in District 7.
All right. Well, Commission Chairwoman, thank you for joining us today.